Hi everyone. So this is the pregnancy vlog of 26th to the 27th week. Now a lot of things has happened in these 2 weeks. First, we had a great time celebrating Halloween in Taiwan. Now Taiwan doesn't really have Halloween as an original holiday. So a lot of people still don't celebrate it. A lot of kids who goes to kindergarten, their school celebrates it. But you know, me being American spirited, I brought back a set of, kind of like costume for me and Alex and Jayden, and we took pictures together when we went out to eat for dinner with my brother and sister-in-law and their kids. And then, of course, we went around and walked around in the city of Taipei. I'm gonna have to say that not a lot of people dressed up for Halloween, so we were feeling kind of lonely. Because back when we were in US, every year, if we ever get dressed up, we go to the mall and everything. We would see everybody dressed up, having the Halloween spirit, but not here. We were pretty much the only ones on the street. But everybody was looking back at Jayden like, oh my God, look at that little kid, it's so cute. Now, he wasn't dressed up like overdressed. He just had a skeleton costume. And me and Alex both had a skeleton costume. And let me show you guys a picture. It's very, very cute. And I really love that t-shirt sets that we have as a family. Now, and then a couple days after that, oh God, one of the nights, Jayden started to cry hysterically nonstop. We didn't know why. We tried to comfort him. We tried to, give him water, try to, hug him, rock him back to sleep. We don't really have to rock him to sleep now, but he was like having such a hard time and crying hysterically, like really loud, even upstairs could hear it. But nothing worked, so we end up going to the emergency room in Taiwan. Now, when it was like 2 o'clock in the morning and we called a taxi, I woke up my brother because I did not know where to go in Taiwan. My brother found an emergency hospital for me, and then we went straight to the hospital, and we were practically the only one there. It wasn't busy or anything. It was an emergency room strictly for women and kids, so it wasn't busy. So we went there, and the doctor gave him an x-ray, and then he said that he had, what is it called? It's like a stomach flu, I think. I'm trying to translate it from Chinese to English. I think it's called stomach flu. What it was is just he was filled with gas, he was bloated, and he was filled with poop inside of his belly. And it was true that he wasn't pooping a lot in Taiwan. Back in US, he would be pooping 2 to 3 times a day because he was active, and there was a lot of places for him to run around. In Taiwan, there's not a lot of places for him to run around at home because our home is smaller in Taiwan, and also his cousins are distracting him from pooping, so most of the time he's not pooping right. He poops like once a day or maybe like once every other day. So he wasn't pooping on time. And and what they did was they inserted like this big amount of fluid into his butt so he could poop. And he did pretty much right away for like a small amount, not crazy much. But he farted a little, and they were like, oh, he needs to be on IV for the rest of the night. So I was really surprised because if this was back in US, the doctor would be like, okay, I'm going to prescribe you some medicine so he could go home and rest and he can poop, you know, like maybe plum juice or whatever. But this doctor in the emergency room in Taiwan, he's like, no, we're keeping him overnight and we're going to keep him on IV for at least 6 hours. So, God, that was horrible. They took a blood sample out of him and he was crying hysterically because, of course, you know, he doesn't like needles. And then they put IV fluid in him and he was in the hospital for the rest of the night. My husband stayed with him. I went home to get some stuff, rest a little bit, and went back to the hospital the next morning, and they weren't letting him leave yet. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and they were telling me that he needs to see a regular pediatrician to see if he's okay now. So they did an ultrasound for him. The pediatrician did an ultrasound and she was like, oh, he looks okay. So yeah, we're gonna let him eat something. If he can eat by himself, if he can drink by himself, and it's, you know, after 2 hours he hasn't puked or anything, he can go home. So, and then we bought some toast. We gave him some water, and he basically ate really well. He ate toast and water. And then one of the things that the doctor mentioned was if he wasn't puking, he was okay. But when he coughed, sometimes he would puke it out. But I know that coughing irritates him because he has been sick. He has been sick. He got the flu from his cousin, and he got recovered in the second week. And then the third week, he got another flu from another source. I don't even know who. It could be grandpa. It could be cousin. I don't even know. The whole family's sick. Yeah, so anyways, so we end up going home after 2 hours. And guess how much the emergency room cost in Taiwan? It costed $6,600. So it was like $6,600. And so that's basically around $200 something USD. And that is without insurance. That's pretty crazy, right? I looked at the details of the bill, and one of it says x-ray. Guess how much x-ray was? It was 300 new Taiwanese dollar, which was $10 USD. The x-ray was $10. And then the more expensive part was like the labors, you know, the doctors. The doctors cost like 1,500 new Taiwanese dollar, which was like $50. But the whole bill combined together for that emergency room cost was about $200 and maybe like $230 to $250. You know, it's an estimate between those. And I was like, wow, that's cheap. And then, you know, of course, in US, they would probably just tell you to go home. But Taiwan, they ask you to stay. They can, you know, make sure you're actually okay before letting you go home. I thought they were being really, really, really careful because I wasn't used to that kind of medical treatment. But apparently it's very common in Taiwan. The doctors are very careful here. And the medical teams are like, you know, they're very cautious and letting kids go out of the hospital, making sure they're perfectly fine before they go home. But I was just surprised on how cheap it was to go to the emergency room. But anyways, yeah, but I am so glad that he was okay. When he got home, he was all excited and happy. He ran around. We took a nap together because none of us got any rest. We were exhausted, but he was okay after that. So, and then, oh God, and then we planned a trip to Hualien, which is where I am right now. I am in my mom's bed and breakfast. My mom and my brother owns a bed and breakfast in Hualien, Taiwan. I did a travel vlog back then last year. I'll drop the link down below if you want to see what the environment, the bed and breakfast look like. I'm going to drop a link down below. But right now I'm in the bed and breakfast. And the night before we left for the bed and breakfast in Hualien, Jayden had his first bleed ever. Like he was bleeding with both of his nostrils. And it was like a crime scene in our room. I was packing for the next day, and I saw him moving around, so I went to check on him. And then I started seeing him start to bleed a little, like from his nostril. So I took a wet napkin to try to clean it a little bit. And I realized he was bleeding more. And I was like, oh crap, that was his first time ever to bleed out from the nose. And I got like nervous and I needed some help. So I called my husband. I was like, Alex, could you come and help me? And he came in and he started panicking too. I was hoping he would calm me down, but he didn't. He panicked more than I did. And then basically, I was trying to stop his nosebleed. I was trying to like squeeze him over here and whatever. But Alex was just so panicking. He just grabbed Jayden and he ran out of door. He's like, let's go to the emergency room again. And we just got back like 2 days ago. So I was like, oh my God, I don't think that's a good idea. So, but you know, Alex was so mad. He's like, we're going. So, we, of course, I'm like, you know what, let's go back to the emergency room. And I grabbed his bag. I grabbed the, everything, like the diapers and everything that I forgot the time before. I grabbed a couple more money, a couple $1,000, and then I grabbed napkins. I grabbed the keys. I went to the bathroom. I was in a hurry this time because I kind of didn't think it was a big deal. By the time I got out of the door, Jayden stopped bleeding from his nostrils. And then I was telling Alex, like, yeah, sometimes kids do that, because I used to do that when I was little. So I wasn't like extremely worried, but Alex was. Being a good father, he was. So he was okay, but Jayden was fully awake by then. And then we went back in our bedroom, we put some ice on his nose, and then he was tired, of course. So he fell back asleep not too long after that. I put like another blanket on top of the crime scene bloody bed sheets, and then I put him back to sleep, and then I continued packing. I was a little bit hesitant on whether or not if I should keep going to Hualien the next day, but I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go see the doctor next morning. We're going to go see a family doctor nearby. And if he says he's okay, we're going to go. Just because Taipei is like the capital city of Taiwan. It's like New York. The air quality is not as good. There's too many people. It's too crowded. Especially all of his cousins goes to kindergarten, goes to school. They get germs. They come back with germs and he gets sick. So I was like, you know what? I need to get away from the city. I need Jayden to be out in the sun, by the trees, on the grass, so he can feel better. So the next morning, 8 o'clock, we woke up and we took him to the family doctor at 8:30, and they looked at him and they're like, okay, he doesn't look that bad. It's normal. Kids have nosebleed. It's very normal, especially he's been sick so long. So he's been kind of like having runny nose the whole time. So he has been irritated by his nose. So anything could have caused it. He could have rubbed it. He could have picked on it. It could have been caused because he was, having runny nose the whole time. So they prescribed us more medicine for the nose and for his sickness, and they sent us home. And I decided that I was gonna pack the medicine and come to Hualien, and that's what I did. And I'm so glad. We arrived here yesterday, and today's the second day. He's been doing so well. He's been running around happy. There's no other kids here. It's just us. And right now, because the bed and breakfast is empty, so it's like we have the whole place to ourselves. The yard, the playgrounds, the little toy room in the common area. So he's having so much fun. And I'm just so glad. So I'm super glad that I actually came here. It's only the second day. We're staying for 3 more days, and then we're heading home to Taipei. Um, I'm hoping it's gonna be good for him. If it's good for him, I'm gonna come back for another time so he can spend more time with the nature. But anyways, it has been a crazy 2 weeks for us because Jayden has been sick nonstop, and then we're at Hualien right now. It feels like, our schedule's really packed, with Jayden being sick and us traveling. But I have to say that I'm glad we're traveling because staying in Taipei was just getting crowded, and Jayden didn't, I don't know, he was having fun with his cousins, but I feel like his health wasn't as good as when he was back in America. So I don't know. I will see how that goes. And oh God, I'm hoping to update you guys with more good news rather than these kind of, Jayden going to emergency vlogs. It's not as good. Anyways, I will be uploading a little bit of travel vlogs soon. Hopefully we'll be going to a lot of fun places so I can record down Jayden having fun in Taiwan, Taiwan. And I will show you guys what's fun in Taiwan. I hope you guys will enjoy it. But anyways, that's today's pregnancy vlog. I hope you guys have fun watching this. Me describing the whole craziness in Taiwan. But Jayden's doing good right now, so don't worry. He's fine. He's happy. We took him around and he's happy today. Okay, so that's it for today's vlog. I will see you in the next video. Bye.